Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Screaming, tires bleeding, virtual cubes, the motor's breathing, engine thunder from down under, piston fire, turn asunder, put your name in lights. Oh, with the vets tonight, it's a 1,000 decibel supercar fight, burn this track to the ground with V8 sound. But the racing's real.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome into the SIMRIGS V8 Veterans for the Split 2 action in Season 28. To go racing here this evening for round 6 of the season. It's the beginning of the second half of the season as we come to the longest circuit on the calendar. It's the second time that we're here in South Australia, and the second time we've made our way to Tailem Bend to Shell V-Power Motorsports Park as we look forward to the GT layout here this evening. 7.7 kilometres long, 35 corners around this circuit, and over 3 minutes of lap time. Hamish Munro here with you alongside Brett Fisher as always. And Brett, as we come into the second half of the season, very important piece of news. The ever-dominant three-time race winner of this season, Stephen Kokoschky, is out this season. He's backed out for the rest of the season, opening the door to those challengers that were chasing him down to all of a sudden be some of the championship favourites, including the likes of Stuart Hall, Mick Clifton, Chad Viger, Scott McKenzie, and even Matthew Day, who are trailing him behind. All of a sudden, this championship is wide open for any of those drivers to have a crack at winning the title.
Someone has opened up the can and all the worms have escaped, and there's mayhem. I mean mayhem.
Absolute
Oh,
mayhem.
geez.
Absolute mayhem,
Throat,
Brett. Absolute mayhem. And knowing those drivers who are closely trailing in behind, that's obviously then going to open up to who could possibly win the championship. And knowing how important mid-season momentum is, how important it is for championships to be won, it's very important now that those drivers try and maintain some of that momentum. We think about the struggles that have already happened this season for the likes of Stuart Hall, who's had a couple of poor rounds, but a couple of great rounds as well, a couple of podium finishes at Winton in the sprint round, and as well the back when we were at Mexico City in round 2. Plus then he's also his top 10 at Bathurst, but he's very poor rounds. Round 3, the last time we were here at the Bend, where he started the car in neutral and then got a drive-through penalty in pit lane as well. And then you look back to last week at Phillip Island, where he had those steering issues. Are there going to be any gremlins on board that car? We'll have to wait and see. You then look at Mick Clifton. He's never been in this position before in Split 2, where he's won a race this season. In fact, won 2 at the sprint round to win the round. And then the point that the pathway he's taken to get to this point is, can he then withstand that? And then you look to Chad Viger, hasn't been in this position in a very long time, over 10 seasons since he was the last day challenger for the championship. And then you look to Scott McKenzie, who was only in this position only a few seasons ago. It's a lot of toing and froing. There's a lot of pressure on these drivers. And then you look to as well, who else is in that? Matthew Day, last season's Split 3 champion, who walked out of that season of, well, I've won the championship, but I've won it against the person who probably, mathematically speaking and statistically, should have won it in Justin Wood. He just failed on the final day, and Matt was there to win the championship, put himself in that position. Now this is a proving ground season for him to prove that, yes, he deserved to be the champion. Could he do it by winning the Split 2 championship this season?
Well, I'll tell you what, the pressure cooker's on and the lid is rattling, and things are going to be mixed up now as we say that Stephen Kokoschky's out, and old Nathan Favero looks like he's put a work schedule changed. So that's what happened, because none of us knew what happened. He just said he's out for the rest of the season. So work's got in the road.
Well, that's what we were talking about pre-race, wondering why he's missing out on the second half of the season. The point we did make to each other was, well, perhaps his work schedule's changes, and that's why, and that seems to be the case, which is a real shame for him.
Yeah. Well, it was as we talked about, Hamish, for probably the last 2 rounds, that it was kind of Kokoschky's to lose.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're not going to see how that was going to pan out for him, because it would have been really, really good to see because it was a different Kokoschky that we've seen this season and late last season. It was more poised, less rattled. So I think he could have done it, but we'll never know.
Well, I was talking to you pre-race that it was giving me the feelings of Logan Barnett back in season 22, where it was such a dominant start to the season, and that's what it felt like for Kokoschky this season as well.
Yep.
So
had the momentum.
Definitely had the momentum. We'll see what sort of momentum he can bring into next season if he remains in Split 2, because he's pulled out now. and hasn't completed 6 races this season, he'll have to pre-qualify again next season. He may pre-qualify himself into Split 1, we don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that goes for him. Looking at where we are currently in the championship course, round 6 tonight. This begins the second half of the season. As we mentioned, 200 kilometres tonight, 26 laps around here at Shell V-Power Motorsports Park here at Taylor Bend. So the lap time comparison for you, the regular Bend circuit we're running just under 1 minute 50 lap times, around about 1 minute 50. It's a very similar lap pace to Silverstone, for example. Tonight, we are running above 3 minutes. On average, the lap times are going to be between the 3:08s and the 3:10s for the sort of average lap pace. There's going to be some drivers that'll be below the 3:10s, and there may even be a couple of 3:07s here or there. On average, though, it should be between the 8s and the 10s for your pace discrepancy across the evening here at Tail and Bend. Of course, looking at what the point standings currently are, this is including 2 drop rounds now to this point of the season. So 5 rounds in, 3 of which are counted. Kokoschki's out. We know this. So our leader of the championship is currently tied
29.
between Stuart Hall and Mick Clifton. They are tied on points at the moment. Chad Weiger is 3 points behind them, missing tonight's round though, unfortunately. So Chad will not be gaining any points in either of them, but we'll see what happens when he gets these points back. Heddersheed is racing tonight, is getting points, but won't be there on the final day due to that surgery that he mentioned to us last week. And that leaves to Scott McKenzie and Matthew Day. James Baldwin was a sneaky one that I saw move up the ranks as well, actually, into the top 10. We saw him have that strong run at Bathurst at the start of the season. Hasn't quite been there in the last few rounds. Struggling for pace today. Crosby, Burns, Weiger, those guys are some sneaky picks too, that being Rick and then Roy Clark as well. Matthew Scholes is not too far away, but he has been away for a few weeks. We've got to see when Scholes comes back and where he ends up. He's not here today either, so that's going to hurt him. So pretty much anyone who's missing this round and has already missed 2 rounds prior to tonight, unfortunately they're probably going to have a line through their name now of actually being able to challenge for this championship. But those who are here, who have missed 2 rounds already or have already used their 2 drop rounds, they need to try and maximise their points here today. And I tell you what, there's a poll out there as well in the chat, and get into it. Only 11 people have voted thus far, but it's been a massive swing of opinions. So we want to hear your opinions in the chat of who you think is going to win the championship this season. The options we put out there were Stuart Hall, Mick Clifton, Chad Weiger, the current top 3, without Kokoschki, or the option of someone else. Maybe Brett Fisher can win this season. Who knows? But get into the poll. It is in the chat.
I was just about to say, I'm a bit disappointed seeing me there in 18th. I'd rather not drop in the 2 rounds and I'm sitting in 9th. So anyway, that's killed me, hasn't it? You get what you get. You don't get upset.
How quickly you can turn the table for you throughout the season. Let's have a quick look at where we are tonight. Of course, Shell V-Power Motorsports Park is the home for tonight's round. Second time we're here this season. The second out of 3 times we'll be in South Australia. The next time we'll be here will be in 3 weeks' time. We're at Adelaide Street Circuit for the second last round of the season, and 250 kilometres to be contested out there as well. Trickling our way on down, we'll find ourselves at the second longest track, permanent second longest race circuit in the world. 7.7 kilometres, 4.8 miles is the difference, or is the distance, sorry. Opened back in 2019, it is the second youngest racing circuit on the iRacing calendar, behind Qualcomm circuit out in San Diego, which was recently released. Of course, it's based out of Tailem in South Australia. 35 corners. We've doubled up our corners from the regular layout of 18 to now being 35. You're running the regular circuit up until turn 9, and instead of hooking the right to run around, you actually hook left to enter the east circuit here out at Tailem Bend, up and around 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, through the sweeper at 16, through the banked 17, and then run through 18, 19, 20, then the banked turn 21 up to 22, down the small straight to the braking zone at 23. You get to the second start-finish straight on this circuit, although that pit lane will not serve you well when going for a pit stop or a drive-through penalty tonight. Running through 24, up through 25, and then down through 26, 27 and 28, up to turn 29, which you then re-enter at the nipple onto the regular Bend circuit once again, down through turn 30, up through 31, 32, 33, braking zone of 34, and then turn 35 will end you out of this 7.7 kilometre long circuit. There are a few danger zones I noticed on Thursday night, Brett, just quickly. Obviously, we know the regular danger zones for the regular circuit. The other ones, though, for the new part of the circuit, up at turn 17, that's going to be difficulty through turn 23 and the exit of 24. There's a little bit of sand you've got to be careful of. You catch that, it could spit you straight into the pit wall down there on that eastern circuit pit lane straight on the bottom of the screen there.
I tell you what, the bend has got more bends than a driver coming up to than a diver coming up too fast from 1,000 feet.
Well, it's
incredible.
It's
Like,
a rare
bloody hell.
occasion. It's a rare occasion when we have a circuit that has more corners than it does laps we're racing around this evening, Brett, which you noted to me earlier. Very rare that this happens. The last time this happened was
Look
when
at
we were
me
at the
with
Nürburgring.
information.
I know. The last time this happened was when we were at the Nürburgring last season as well. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens when we exit tonight's race, of course, and where we may end up off the back of tonight's race as well. The warm-up is currently live for drivers out there, but we're going to run you through the starting grid for tonight's race, and it is as follows. Stuart Hall will put it on pole position here this evening on row number 1, alongside Yusuf Corfiadis in P2. Great qualifying from both drivers. And Stuart trying to get on the front foot and knowing that Kokoschki is not around for the rest of this season. To row 2 and behind them, we find Andrew Galley with a solid qualifying ahead of Darryl Callahan out of P4. To row 3 in behind them, we'll then find Tony Chapman starting ahead of equal first position in the championship, Mick Clifton out of P number 6. To row 4, it's then Scott McKenzie and Darren Goosey starting alongside each other as well. To the top 10 in row 5, we find Wade Reynolds and Todd Duggan alongside each other out there as well. Row 6 in the top 12, it's Nathan Favero ahead of Paul Burns. To row 7 in the top 14, Dave Arney lands it into P13 tonight. He'll start alongside Simon Heddersheed, the Kiwi, out of P14 off the back of his solid performance last week. Thank you very much. To P15, it's Andrew Lister of SCR starting alongside Brett Taylor out of the top 16 here today. To row 9, in the top 18 cars, Chris Blanchard, Derek Lovegrove starting alongside each other as well. Row 10 of the top 20 is then going to be made up by Mario Reali and Shadow Racing's Ernie Toth out of the top 20 as well. To the 11th row, it's Brett Fisher starting alongside Peter Kelleher. To row 12, we find Roy Clark and Jeremy Bush. Row 13, and behind them, it's going to be Tim Mulford and Scott Weston. Row 14, we then find Abel Verben, who will start out of pit lane here today. A couple of drivers have not set lap times in qualifying, including not Bruce McLeod, sorry, James Boardman, who's back in P30, and then Matthew Day as well, who's back in P31. Yep. So those drivers have not set lap times in qualifying, but they will start on the grid. Abel Verben, as I said, will start from pit lane, so he'll have work to be done.
No, he's got
out of pit road.
another corner to navigate out of pits.
Well, that's right. Remembering as well the difficulty of pit lane here. Knowing that it is a 40 kilometre per hour pit lane out of it here today. We know the dangers of it. We know what obviously happened last time we were here at the Bend as well, which was obviously namely the issues we had coming into pit road for the driver that we mentioned earlier, Stuart Hall, who was caught out by a car behind him, giving him knock into pit lane and then giving him that stop hole penalty, of course, that really cost him that race and a solid performance. The poll has ended with Kokoschki out, who will take the Split 2 crown for season 28. 46% of the 13 voters picked Mick Clifton. 31% believe it's going to be somebody else. 15% think it's going to be Stuart Hall, who is equal championship leader with Mick Clifton right now. 8% believe it is Chad Viger. So very interesting case of those selections of who people think it is going to be, but that's going to be that's going to be very interesting how that pans out. We have got Mr. Kokoschki in the chat with us today, giving the best of luck to Split 2. We wish Stephen the best of luck as well and hope he can rejoin us for next season.
Yeah, what a shame. Yeah, definitely
shame.
Big shames.
We also want to take this time too, as there is a notable driver missing today as well, Brett. So I just want to mention this too, just quickly. Fortunately, losing his father earlier in the week, Joe Mahoney. So we just want to give our condolences to Joe on his loss earlier in the week as well, and we wish him the best in that next process that's going to be happening with him and his family. And we hope we see him again back with us soon on circuit here in Split 2 of the V8 Veterans as well. So, massive condolences to Joe, who I know was going to try and be there for his dad, and then unfortunately it wasn't long later that he actually found out that his father passed away. So that's it's a real shame. But Brett, Taylor and Ben tonight, it's going to be a long one for these drivers. Only 200 Ks, small amount of laps, 26 laps of course. But 3-minute lap
But
times.
how many
It's
bloody corners?
35 corners. 35 corners.
35
3-minute
corners.
lap
Just hang on a
times.
second. So 35 corners times 26 equals 910 corners for this race.
910
God.
corners for 26 laps at 180
calculate-
seconds per lap.
I did calculate that correctly, didn't I?
I would assume so.
35 times 26 equals 910.
Yep.
Whew.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And the one of the key factors tonight as well is the thing about across the 200 kilometres is as well. This is our limited tyre set race of the season as well, and the one extra tyre set has been made available to the drivers here this evening. So you've got your starting tyre set, and then you've got one extra set that's been provided to you by Dunlop in pit lane. So you've got to be very selective about when you take that set and how you strategize around taking that set as well. I personally
Please,
think...
sir, can I have some more tyres?
I'm personally a believer of you should probably want to be taking your tyres at the midpoint of the race, around about lap 13 or lap 14. Any earlier than that, you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot by the end of the race. Any later, you may get away with it with a safety car here or there. The critical lap tonight. The critical lap tonight is lap 5, so drivers will have to keep that in mind as well. Of obviously, if safety cars are going to be a factor too. You don't want to be pitting too early and taking tyres, obviously. So you want to make sure you untick your tyres if you're taking that earlier stop. You never want to be taking them on the first stop. Not here, because you can only get as far as lap 9. And that's not going to be a fun run home.
How much fuel are you going to put on the first stop?
Well, so if I'm not taking tyres, I'm only putting maybe 30 litres. 30 litres is roughly going to get you to halfway. 30 to 39 litres is going to be your choice, because you don't want to be putting in, say, 36 litres, because it's not going to be an exact extra lap, where 30 is going to be pretty good. 39 is going to be even better. You're roughly running 6.1 litres per lap around here, so... 30 to 39 is going to be your choice. That's going to be the difference between getting to lap 13 and lap 14, depending on what your choice is. And then obviously it's going to be either 79 or 70 litres with tyres to get you to the end of the race. There's nothing to be gained from only taking a litre on your first stop, going to lap 10 and taking tyres. You're only going to give up a lot of time because you're going to be running the equivalent of 10 laps.
Those tyres.
You're going to be running the equivalent of 40 laps to the end of a race on a set of tyres. It's not going to be a fun time.
And it was interesting talking with the fellow shadowers, the different tyre wear we're all experiencing. So, it's going to be one to watch, obviously your tyre wear, you run out of tyres and see what happens. Yeah.
Well, we want to give a shout out to everyone that's joined us here today in the chat, of course. You were out there earlier on getting the pundits all fired up for us there. Brett Roy Clark's in the chat with us, Nathan Ferrer as well. Dominic Baxter in the chat. Craig Miller's in the chat with us too. Brad Grant is out there watching along with us as well. Stuart Hall, Tony Chapman in the chat with us today too. Great to have you all watching along. Damien Fisher in the chat with us as well. Maximiliano is with us once again. So great to have you out there, Max. We've got Kadzi out there with us as well. Logan Barnett's with us too, the former 7-time race winner and former champion here in Split 2 joining us. And obviously Stephen Kikoshi was with us earlier as well, and Peter Keller here in the chat too. So great to have you all watching along. Great to have you all prepared and ready for what is to come tonight. There is our pole sitter on the start grid, Mr. Stephen Kikoshi in the MPI Infinity Motorsports livery, the 49 car. Yet to take a win here in Split 2. Yet to take a win here in V8 Veterans. His cohort and fellow combined championship leader Mick Clifton won his first race here in Vets a few weeks ago out at Winton. Who's going to win it here today though at Taylor Bend? Lap 1 of 26 back to get underway as 7.7 kilometres calls their name. It's green flag running off of the start line. It was a hot start for Corfitas, who looks to take the race lead towards turn number 1. Watch for Darryl Callahan on the outside as he looks to try and sneak that car around. Stuart Hall in towards turn number 1 as Callaghan is now right there to the inside of turn 2. Sneaks it up in a P2 as well, but can Hall come back at him as everyone else scrambles for position? Corfitas, the big gainer, he's broken away into the race lead.
What a great start for Corfitas, and looks like Callaghan has got it past Hall. So, and he's got Mick Clifton hot on his tails there as well. So, cracking start for Corfitas though. That was a ripper.
That was a ripper start. A bit of a lock up there for I believe either Wade Reynolds or Todd Duggan in towards turn 6, but they're still running strong here. Andrew Galley's dropped a couple of spots off the start, down 3. Hall already down 2 into P3 here, but could see a strategy play coming his way shortly. Who knows? We'll have to wait and or see. Probably one of the smart options tonight there, Brett, knowing how long the circuit is. Early stop for you, get out of traffic, get into clean air and push on. That's going to be one of the key strategies of the night. And I think as well, picking your fuel correctly, that's going to be a key factor as well. You don't want to pit on lap 2 and then have someone come out right in front of you on lap 3, because all of a sudden your strategy is going to be out the window. If you've got clean air, though, for those first sort of 6 or 7 laps, you could easily gain 2 seconds per lap on the cars ahead of you and have a massive advantage after that first pit stop has been completed.
We've got everyone getting through nice and neatly so far. Going through turn 58.
This would actually
I've
be...
got no idea.
This would actually be turn 21, but it was that corner into turn 23.
Bloody hell.
Because they're what I like to call they're the lumps of the circuit at the bottom end. We're coming up towards the eastern pit lane now as well.
Listening to the guys in Split 1 last night, and they're calling out each of the corners. I'm like, oh, geez, show off.
They've got their track map. They've got their track map in front of them. That's the secret.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, right. I don't have any of that fanciness. No fanciness here.
We have not completed a single lap just yet, though, just to confuse everyone.
Yawn.
We are entering up towards the regular circuit once again, though, here. This is turn 29, which will bring us past and through the nipple, back onto the regular international circuit. Is what it is.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Look at Kofidis, though, like nearly 2 seconds out so far. What a great start. He's got to be pumped with that. Just keep it together, son. Keep going.
You're doing a great job.
It's a bit wrong in that calling someone plus 40, son. Anyway, but look at that train from Stuart Hall, from Daryl Callaghan, all the way back to Ernie Toth in 20th. All nose to tail there. So
big nose to tail. They'll come past pit lane.
Still going on lap 1.
Yep. And they'll all come past pit lane as well.
Lap 2.
To begin lap 2. So now the CPS process begins for those drivers out there. You would hate, Brett, to have gotten a safety car on lap 1, because that's so much more time that you'd be waiting to take that first pit stop that would actually count. That'd be a monumental differential for you between being able to start the race and take that first stop. So don't be surprised now if we see some drivers jump down pit lane at the end here of this lap. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the likes of maybe Hall, Clifton, even an Andrew Galley or a Todd Duggan sneak down pit lane as well, just to get out of the traffic and just to get some clean air to push themselves on for the rest of this race and offset themselves to the cars around them. Especially if you're Hall or Clifton, or even Galley, if you know you've got pace ahead of the cars that are ahead of you, use that to your advantage. Use your qualifying pace to your advantage. Get out in the clean air and push on. You're probably going to give you a benefit. As we can see further back as well, Dave Arney fighting away here with Nathan Favero, and the most capped driver in V8 Veterans, Darren Goosey, just ahead of him as well. They've got the Kiwi Simon Heddersheet on their tail, who podiumed last week in a fantastic race at Phillip Island, it must be said. Great chat with him. Unfortunate to find out that he can't be here for the final round of the season due to eye surgery, but I suppose we didn't see that one coming. But he definitely did.
Do you know what a pirate has?
An eye patch.
What sort of surgery?
What does he have?
Surgery. No, that's not a really good joke. Sorry about
it. You regret. I could hear the regret in real time from you there, Brett, on that joke.
Just about any time I speak, there's always real regret. Unbelievable. Kofita's still 2 seconds out in front at the moment, going great guns. Keep it going there.
He's running really well in the unhinged injury. Now, the important thing for Yusuf is now, he's got to try and strategize this well. He's got to try and strategize this race well now. It's important for him. So, he can't go too long, because if he goes too long, as I drop the thing I had in my hand then on the table, if he goes too long, he's going to shoot himself in the foot, because if drivers behind him undercut him, because the undercut's going to be so huge today. Brett, so huge.
Real dropping.
Yeah, he is, and he's off the road, and that is off the second straight. He is still going, though. Here's Mario Reale. He's still rolling in that HSR livery as well. So important now for Corfidis. If he goes long, he can't go too long today. He's going to shoot himself in the foot if he does that, because the undercut's going to be massive. Shoot himself in the foot is the word.
Right,
I said.
okay, sorry.
Yes.
Very good.
Drive past the nipple once again.
Yeah. Right.
Shall I call Areola corner for you?
No.
Brett? I'll call it the Areola.
No, don't do
Brandon's claiming I wanted an excuse to say nipple, and she couldn't be more correct. Of course I did.
Unbelievable.
To the pit entry we go now, though. Is Corfidis going to come into pit lane? He is going to stay out. What about Callahan? Stays out. Hall's coming in.
Callaghan.
So is Galley. You are right, it is Callaghan. Hall and Galley into pit lane.
Yep.
So this is a big, crucial stop. And the important part of this stop is now they've got to get the fuel numbers right. They want to be putting in enough to get themselves to the halfway point. Nice light fuel load will equalise the car out to around about 70 litres for the rest of this race off of both their pit stops. Could give them now a significant advantage through the next stint. This is going to be very interesting. This race is not necessarily going to be contested in on-track battles, Brett. This is going to be a contest in pit lane.
Done the fastest lap of the race. That was a 3:07.
Good pace, but unfortunately for
0.137,
Verben, started from pit lane. He probably needs a safety car to get back into this race.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I'm going to be honest, Brett. Knowing what happened last time to those drivers that were caught out in early incidents here at the regular bend, without the safety car, I don't think Abel's got a hope in hell of getting a positive finish tonight, like up inside the top 20, for example. That's going to be such an effort. Especially for someone who started in pit lane.
Depends on whatever happens else. What other things happen on track. You never know. Someone might have a bad night, so he might sneak up there.
Important for you as well. So Hall's been in 18.8 seconds. Took a 6-second stop faster than Andrew Galley. So he's gaining about 6 seconds now. Sat gap's now about 8 seconds. So we'll have to keep an eye on that throughout this race. The other important number is 2. Blanchard took 19 seconds, gained 6 seconds on Galley to put some pressure on him now. We'll see how that pans out across the next portion of the race as well.
And I hate to talk about my own teammate, but I just want to mention to Andrew Galley having a great qualifying there. Hopefully he has a good round. Like he's actually been on the verge of some really good rounds and just had some unfortunate things happen. So it's good to see him up there at the moment.
Exactly right. Very bad luck when we were here last time for him as well. Obviously caught out with a netcode issue with Jeremy Bush. So he'll be hoping to get a solid finish here today. Scott McKenzie just being put under pressure now from Darren Goosey on the Eastern Circuit start-finish line as they run down towards the mid-20s of the corners at this stage of the circuit as well. There you see the pressure being applied. That part of the Eastern Circuit, Brett, not going to lie, gives me a bit of Wanneroo vibes, actually. A bit of Barbagallo about it into what would be turn 1 down there for that circuit. But for McKenzie, he's feeling the pressure here from Goosey.
And I'll tell you what, I didn't mind the circuit out, the newer part that we're running out the back. I didn't mind it. The flow of it, a bit of undulation, things like that, a couple of blind corners and all this stuff. I didn't mind it. It was just probably for my reality off again. For my liking, just the lap was just too long, But it is what it is, We get what we get and we race what we got. 3 laps of 26.
That's right. And it's only taken us 10 minutes to do 3 laps of this second. Just under 10 minutes, of course. It's about 9.5 minutes. Great to have you all.
And I'm dead
along
last. How good's that?
You've been in pit lane, Brett. Come on. Yusuf Corfidis is going to stay out on the run at the moment.
Dead last.
Interesting. So Callaghan not coming in. Neither is Clifton or Chapman. Duggan is, though. As is Darren Goosey and Dave Arney. So good to see Duggan running well here today. Header Sheeds into pit lane as well. These are crucial stops for these drivers, knowing that they want to be pitted before lap number 5 in case a safety car is called at that time, because then they know they can get home on their fuel. Here comes Pete Kelleher to the inside, trying to get past Ernie Toth. Couldn't quite get there. We know the dramas that Kelleher had the last time he raced here at the Bend off of that ferocious incident with Matthew Scholes on the main straight. I think there's still bits of pink car down there from only a few weeks ago, but they haven't picked it all up just yet.
Probably not. Probably picking it all out of the gaps of the asphalt.
I think so. I think that is the current case. The listener trying to defend here against Brett Taylor down towards turn 6 as well as the SCR driver. As those drivers allow to exit pit lane.
By the way, too, in the chat, how many have we got in the chat at the moment? Let's have a look. 25
viewers.
If you've got any questions, ask away. Ask a question. Come on, let's get some conversation going. while we're sort of going around these 35 bends per corners laps of the thing with the bolts with the nuts and stuff like that in and out. And
Fantastic.
I'll shut up now. It's good, isn't it?
So, Stuart Hall right now is currently the leading car that has taken a pit stop in this race. It's back in P20 at this stage. He was, of course, P3 before his first stop in this race. This is one of our closest trains we've got happening right now. Mulford leading us back to around about Derek Lovegrove. Just further back here and behind Scott Weston as well. Darryl Callaghan has got Mick Clifton on his tail. Escoffiadis leads the way by 2.1 seconds. Has not grown that gap over the last few laps. It's actually been petering out and remaining where it is at this stage. So for Callaghan, he's going to try and get a rig on here to try and chase this gap down, but doesn't want to burn those tyres out too quickly.
No.
Knowing that we have pretty much 8, or let's say 10 more laps at most of how far you want to go on this set of tyres. On a regular circuit, that's working out to another 20 laps. So you don't want to be pushing these things too hard. Keep them under you, keep the pressures under you as well, and don't push too much.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something then. It was probably going to be very intelligent.
Well,
no, yeah. What was? No. Hang on, I got it. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Sort of, some of these guys in the trains, as you see here. I wonder whether they're pushing the cars just a little bit harder. If you're in free air, are you controlling the car a bit better?
Well, I think not only that may be the case with those drivers that are in clean air, the likes of Stuart Hall, even Andrew Galley as well, who finds himself in some good clean air at the moment. As Mick Clifton's going to come into pit lane, as will Tony Chapman. So again, very important stop for those drivers now to get this one right. I think that they've definitely given up a little bit of time to Hall and Galley, who pitted early here, Brett. So it's important now that they try and push on and make this up in the pit lane this time. Oh, that's a wild pit entry for Pete Callaghan, nearly drilling the back of Brett Taylor into pit lane. He'll now bring it down.
And then he could have drilled the pit lane wall too, but he got away from that. And we've got a question in the chat too.
We do indeed. It was from Brad Grant saying, why is Damon Fisher faster than Brett? That's what he wants to know.
That's what I want to know. Yeah, well, he gets a lot more time to practice than I do.
And Roy is asking, hey Brett, how many turns left in the bend 9-10? So how many turns do we have left in this race, being that we're on lap 5? Well, how about we wait until... No, not left turn specifically. Not left turn specifically.
How many turns
are left in the race?
Oh, left.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So let's go as of the end of lap 5. So they're by the end of lap 5, we would have run 175 laps of this race. So do the maths of 910 minus 175. We're going to have
735.
Yeah, 735 laps to go. Oh,
the question's coming.
That's right. Yeah, exactly right. Andrew Rushworth in the chat list too. Andrew Rushworth joining us out. That's great to have you watching with us, Rushy. Brandon's asking, so I can ask whatever I want. You can ask whatever you want within reason.
No.
Otherwise,
throw it out the window.
Otherwise, we're going to be talking about certain products. Okay, ask.
I
don't
ask anything. All right, won't matter. Whatever. Hey.
So Stuart Hall, by the way, 7.3 second gap over Tony Chapman. So he's actually had a significant gain over Chapman by getting that clean air, by the way, Brett. So we mentioned that Chapman was probably about 2 seconds behind him when Hall came into pit lane. They've taken a very similar stop length. Hall has gained about 5 seconds over those 3 laps that Chapman hadn't been in and Hall had. So that's the key differential. So right now, Hall is on the road to leading this race after this first pit stop. So he's in a very strong position. And if Corfidis wants to have any chance of defending it, he's got to try and take the same amount of fuel that Hall did just to try and maintain the position ahead of him. If he gives up position to Hall here in this pit stop, he is going to be really struggling as James Boardman only just brings it back on the road in behind yourself there, Brett. But yeah, this is going to be a very important stop for Corfidis.
I know Boardman really struggling on the track. Did he?
Well, he's had about 4 laps of practice this week.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, and nothing against Boardman, but that's what it looked like too. Like it was it was that sort of early sort of, getting to know the track sort of errors that I saw.
Well, yeah.
Just not putting the car in the
But-
right spot at the
but
right
that, you know,
time.
that
But,
can obviously come down to-
that explains it.
Well, that can obviously come down to not having the time to put all the practice in that he may have wanted and stuff like that.
Oh, you want to know how much a woodchuck could chuck wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
You're really
as much
challenging
wood as a
Brett's-
woodchuck would if it could. Hang on, so I actually can do this because I was a school bus driver for a little while and we used to practice this a bit. So how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? As much as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Very good, Brett. The poem and artistic stylings of Brett Fisher there, really getting his dyslexia challenged by that question. So thank you very much for that one. I was going to answer 3.
No.
That was going to be my answer. So we're getting a little bit of spreading out now, though, before the next
6 laps of
yeah.
26 here at the bend.
Tell you what, the last 15 minutes or nearly 17 minutes has flown by over these last 6 laps, Brett, must be said. Tyre weather up this stage is definitely going to be a factor as Andrew Liston gets it a little bit loose off of turn 6. Wants to try and get past Tim Mulford. He will get past Mulford here. Up and around the triple right-hander. Not a quad right-hander this time. It's only a triple because they're left-hander at the end of it. He's pushing on as best he can. And Toth running out of pit lane now. Will actually exit right behind his own teammate as Mulford runs it wide. And starting to feel this pressure.
Late Apex there and ask another question there. Anyone see the percentage after 12 laps or more here? Yeah, I did actually about 17 laps. And the lowest I had was around about, I think about 48.
You were
inside left rear.
You were game running 17 laps on a set of tyres here, Brett. Very, very game.
I don't drive that fast.
Or that hard, maybe, to wear them out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hard and fast.
Well, you normally got to be hard to put the rubber on, so. And we're now cancelled in North Korea. So that's
well, you chose that. Bloody hell, it wasn't even me who bloody went there.
It's under pressure right now from Pete Gallagher and Brett Taylor. In behind him, Todd Duggan running on his lines at the moment. Chris Blanchard has got Darren Goosey in behind himself as well. Been a few races between race wins for Blanchard now. The last time he did take a race win was back at the Miami Autodrome a few seasons ago. He'd be hoping to get back into winning ways if he could. Good Mr. Blanchard here today. Pushes on once again. There's been an off-track though for James Bourman. Further back, who's crossing the grass.
Any Toth on these?
Yeah,
coming
Toth's
up
now
on
his
tail?
heels.
On his ginger?
Yep. Chapo saying he was down to 30% after 16 laps, did Favero, and I believe Chapman would have been the same. That's a huge, huge number.
Those guys drive way faster than me.
Into the pit lane, no, comes Yusuf Corfidis. That now releases Callaghan ahead of him. So they were roughly about probably
McKenzie
3 seconds gap. So Mackenzie's in. So let's watch now where Stuart Hall is going to be in comparison, because this will give us the look at how much he's actually gained over Corfidis and Callaghan over these last 5 laps that he has been running. I said Gann. Over the last 5 laps that he's been running solo out there with no one around him.
Okay, so Corfidis is up. I'll keep an eye on the time. He's got 5 seconds in there so far. Going for 6, going for 7, going for 8, going for 9, going for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
So
16,
Hall will exit the
17,
final corner
18,
as he
19,
runs it down
20,
past pit lane. Corfidis has not dropped yet. It is a bigger stop
24,
for him as Brett Fisher counts this down.
26.18.
26. And then we got to see what the actual gap is by the time that Corfidis gets to turn 1, because that'll give us the
Tony
relative gap that he has gained. So there is a 8 second differential. No, actually, we'll call it 7 seconds because of how close they are. 7 second differential on the stops. Stuart Hall gained 4 seconds over Corfidis because the gap was about 2 seconds before he pitted. So he's gained about 4 seconds over the whole field on this last stint. That is a huge gain for Stuart Hall. And crucially for Corfiadis, he's probably put slightly too much in because now he's stuck behind Tony Chapman, who we know is notable for being very hard to pass. And this is going to hurt Corfiadis. This may cost him the race win today.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Brandon's asking, can Brett explain what a ginger is?
Well, I'm trying to. Okay, so I had to put it in Chat GPT actually, because I say like I've always like on his ginger, like on his ass or whatever it is, like that. So the phrase on his ginger, or more commonly on one's tail, ginger, means right behind someone, following them closely or pressing them hard in a race or competition. There you go. How good's that? I used it in perfect context.
Well
Thank you very
done.
much.
You got the context absolutely to perfection.
Yeah, on his ginger.
Max Severo giving the nickname of Tony the Roadblock Chapman there as well, the Kiwi. And it probably could not be described any better. It is true. He is a bit of a roadblock as Dave Arney will look now to go down the inside of Goosey and Blanchard, possibly down at the turn 23 hairpin. Can't quite get around just yet for turn 24. He's still caught at the outside of Goosey here. It's
this will be
Darren
interesting.
versus Dave. It's Arnie versus Goosey. Who is going to reap the benefits of the next few corners as they run it up towards the regular international circuit? Callaghan into pit lane as Dave Arnie gets the move made off the exit of the
Nice
eastern
move.
first sector. What a great move for Dave Arnie. It'll leave this small battle outside of the top 15 back on to the international circuit here at Tailem Bend. Callaghan will come in, and we'll see where this car will now end up out of pit lane in comparison, very importantly, to Tony Chapman and Yusuf Corfiadis, because I guarantee you Stuart Hall's going to pass him, knowing that he gained 4 seconds on the race leader. Previously, Yusuf Corfiadis. So the question is, where does Callaghan lie in comparison? Because even if he takes the same amount of fuel as Hall, he's still going to be behind him.
20 seconds now so far. 21, 22, 23 seconds. I reckon he's going to be he's going to be 25.13. So
He's going to come out behind Corfiadis. I think ahead of Clifton, though. This will be close. Is Clifton going to get past? He is going to get past because he's at pace, as will
Galley.
Andrew Galley.
yeah, and Galley.
So that's a
well.
great gain from Andrew Galley, who undercut them off of that lap 2 pit stop. Galley could be on here for a great race if he can put these pieces together. He's just stuck in behind Mick Clifton at the moment. But you see Corfiadis all over the back of Tony Chapman, and Hall will be loving this because Corfiadis has got nowhere to go. Chapman is not maximising on the paces. Here comes Corfiadis down the inside at turn 6. Locks it up.
Oh.
Can Chapman, and then think about this, Brett, think about the time that they've just thrown away in that move between both of them. That's cost them a good 2 seconds to the car ahead. That gap
That's
is
a
out
shame,
now to 11.2 seconds to the corrected race leader in Stuart Hall.
It's a shame that Corfiadis couldn't pull that off then, because I think he had to try. It was just unfortunate, and here we go side by side
So
again.
Chapman had a wide run on the entry to the Eastern Circuit, but he's managing just to hang on to position through turn 21. Unbelievable stuff.
Clifton and Galley right in the box seat there as well. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that Corfiadis didn't get that move done, because I think that would have released him and obviously, being able to chase down Hall a bit further, because he did definitely have pace. But Chapman doing well.
Well, you think about the last few lap times here, Brett. 309.16 the last lap time for Hall, 309.75 for Chapman. So it's about a 0.6 differential between Hall and Chapman. That's what was given up on the last lap. So, and already, by the way, 2 seconds have been given up from the race leader, the corrected race leader, to Chapman, just from this last part of the lap. Unbelievable.
And Chapman in the chat just saying, I wasn't trying to fight, just trying to save the tyres, and that's 100%, But obviously, Corfiadis wanting to get on with it, knowing he had pace, and wanted to put it. And this is what I was saying before, like in a battle pack like that, are you going to burn through your tyres more, especially probably in Kofidis's position where he's actually trying to make a move on Chapman, but Chapman sort of just, trying to look after his tyres.
This looks like now.
So Reynolds, Burns,
extent-
Lister and Clark.
Yeah, this
and
is the
Verbani.
extent of the fuel. That is the extent of the fuel.
Verben?
Scott
Verben or
Weston.
Oh,
Verben. Weston with a wild run off the track, the back end of the Eastern Circuit. So this is the extent of the fuel now for those that hadn't pitted just yet. So Stuart Hall will take the race lead. 13.5 seconds is the gap at the beginning of lap 9 for the new race leader. A whole main straight difference. He was entering turn 1 as they exited the final corner. That is the differential between Chapman and Hall. As Reynolds will exit pit lane. Will he exit ahead of Chapman? Chapman's going to go for it here into turn 1. Will get the job done. And Reynolds, with a big gain in pit lane, will have to give that back up in the next stop. But at least he'll be battling with these front runners. But it's not going to help them as Kofidis is now trapped behind 2 cars between himself and the race leader. This has gone horribly in terms of strategy for the unhinged Camaro.
yeah, and Reynolds coming out on cold tyres, so he's going to be slightly off pace there as well.
Well, that's if he took tyres, Brett. That's if he took tyres.
Oh, well,
remember,
sorry.
it's a
Yeah,
one-tyre
my
stop
bad.
race.
Yeah, no, he probably wouldn't take tyres.
Well,
so,
I
but-
wouldn't think so. That's 17. Oh, yeah, that's 17 laps to the end. That's horrid, horrid strategy. Who
Wow.
would take 17 laps of tyres, Brett?
Who would do such a thing? Why would
do
he?
that?
Why would a commentator even sort of like say something like that? Quite silly, really.
Very silly, Brett.
Anyway, yeah, that's me.
I'm assuming you pit this lap.
Me?
Yeah.
Do I?
You're
Why?
taking 17 laps worth of tyres. Oh, unless you run your first set
17.
actually out to lap 17.
No, I didn't take the first set of tyres. Oh, I don't know what I did. I was just, I was doing what I was told. Anyway, Kofidis trying to sort of have a look at Reynolds now. This is a great little battle pack here with Clifton, Galley, Burns in there. Callaghan not that far behind. He's within within a second.
Right now as well, Brett, thinking about this, so Chapman and Reynolds have got roughly 6 seconds they're going to be giving up to the cars behind them. So right now, the corrected podium, depending on when they pit, is Kofidis and Clifton. Although Andrew Galley is trying to make a difference.
Yeah. Oh.
And trying to make a change to that. So the important thing is now, so we already saw we've already seen the undercut work tonight for Mick Clifton. The question is, when does he pit if he tries to undercut again? And he doesn't want to pit too early. He probably doesn't want to pit until probably lap 12, I would say, at the earliest. If he pits lap 10 or 11, or even now at lap 9, way too early. Because that's going to be so long he has to run on tyres to the end of this race.
Oh,
tyres are going to be
off
cooked.
again. Yep.
No, he's not.
Boardman just had an excursion there.
he
Well,
didn't.
it showed up red.
Well, that just might mean that he dropped
Anyway.
a position.
Oh,
That doesn't mean that he had an
okay.
off track. Just means he might have dropped a position.
Yeah, okay.
If the
I
whole,
thought the
if
car
the
in
whole
front
bar, if
went
the whole,
green
no,
and
that
then
just
red.
means no.
Ah.
So if it's green and red, it means they gained and lost position. If the position color turns red, then they're off track. So
right.
yeah, you've got to watch for the
There we
position
go.
box.
Okay, right. Yep. Cool. Thank God I'm not colourblind.
It's only been like that, Brett, for the last.
Oh, don't get into me about the details. God.
It's only been like that for the last 6 seasons that you've been here.
Yeah, I know.
It hasn't changed.
I'm fast on the uptake. Don't you worry about
So
that.
lap 10 of 26, we have got 17 laps to go here of the bend. At 3 minutes a lap, that's going to be roughly
Only 595 corners to go.
51 minutes left in this race, Brett. Still to go. Still 51 minutes of driving for these drivers without a safety car. As if they went green.
God.
I know. Such a long time, isn't it? Such a long time.
But, I mean, look, we've now cleansed the field again, and we've got a lot
Yeah.
of drivers sort of grouped back up again. So that's good. That's exciting.
What we've got as
So
well
we've
is
got,
we've got these 2 big chunks of cars. Really, actually, 3 big chunks of cars
There's three
that are battling around
yeah,
each other.
those-
From Chapman back to Darryl Callaghan, and then off the back of Chris Blanchard
Oh, Duggan's there as well.
to Brett
Duggan's
Taylor. No, he's not. He's about a second back. He's not at the back of the train.
Oh, he was under a second there for a second.
He's nearly there. He's getting close.
Yeah.
And then from Blanchard, pretty much back to Goosey, but you could maybe include the header sheet back to Brett Taylor train. And then the further train of Ernie Toth back to Scott Weston is then the next part of that train too.
Well, Mulford's 5 seconds off Lister, so that's that's
but,
probably But I mean, there's some groups of racing going on. Like not everyone's
there
just.
There is this extraordinary gap, 15 seconds between the race leader and P2. He's gained more time over Tony Chapman and Wade Reynolds. So right now, Stuart Hall, I'm going to argue it's probably 16 and a half laps away from a race win, barring a massive mistake or an engine blow.
You'd be getting bored, wouldn't you?
Well,
You'd be getting bored. Wouldn't you just sort of?
So this is where the problem would lie, right? Is you would get into the road where you start to get into that rhythm, and that rhythm can then often at times become deafening and blind, and you then make a mistake if you lock up a brake and you end up in the gravel or something like that. Yeah. So that's one thing to consider. When you are in Stuart's position right now, is you've just got to keep your head cool, calm, collected, and you've got to keep the eyes on the prize. You cannot get comfortable. If you get too comfortable, you'll get numb and you'll begin to make mistakes. And then you can't let those 100%. Mistakes topple on top of you either.
Yeah.
Got to keep it real.
I'd rather actually have someone in front of me or behind me, definitely, because it sort of always keeps you...
I would rather have someone... I mean, it's good to have this gap. I'd probably rather have a 5-second gap than a 15-second gap. Because they're still going to be in my mirror.
Sort of like maintain. Yeah,
they're still going to be in my mirror that I can check in on at the straights just to make sure. All right, we're still good. Keep me around.
Chapman and Reynolds making a tiny break off Corfidis at the moment. But I wonder whether Corfidis has just burned his tyres up a little bit.
I don't know, but the problem is, so they've got to be able to get this out now to 6 seconds. They've got to get it out to 6 seconds to maintain the position ahead of Corfidis, Clifton Galley, as Clifton's going to come in. This is a very early stop, and I think it's too early, Brett. End of lap 10. Has got to run those tyres for 16 laps to the end of this race. I think this is too early. Yeah. It's going to get him a gain initially, of course, because he'll have fresh tyres off this stop. But how bad is the final 5 laps going to be?
Oh, yeah.
Or how bad is the final 6 laps going to be? This is going to be a tough work and a hard yakka for Mick Clifton to get at least P2 today. Will it be enough though to drop him off the podium? I don't know. Depends on how much time there is between himself and P4 off the back of this second stop. Stuart Hall, relatively safe at the moment in P1, but Tony Chapman and Wade Reynolds, those guys are not battling for P2 necessarily on the timesheet because of the pit stop time that needs to be given up. They're more or less battling for a top 5 at this stage. The real P2 battle is between Mick Clifton, who's just exiting pit lane, and Yusuf Corfidis, as well as Andrew Galley, who's now stuck into this too. See Paul Burns there. He pitted it on that lap 9 stop. So one of those later pit stoppers. He's sitting good at the moment in amongst this front pack of cars. He did take a 17-second stop, so he has got time to give up on the next stop. Unfortunately, because he went so long, I think he may have burnt up a little bit too much time out there.
Yeah, still plenty of things to play out here.
Yes, indeed. And that P15 battle from Roy Clark back is starting to heat up between himself, yourself, Brett Kelleher, and Brett Taylor as well. So the battle of the Bretts is in this.
Yep.
The battle of Roy Clark versus Crash Clark is in this as well. And the differential of what makes him Roy and what makes him Crash. And then Mr. Pete Kelleher, who is representing Synergy Sim Racing, is the only representative here in Split 2 for this season now that his teammate Stephen Kokoschke has had to pull out due to work commitments.
And I tell you, Kelleher having a great run too. Like he was going all right. Yeah, up 5 spots at the moment. Roy Clark up at 8 at the moment too. So it's a great little run so far. But what have they got to pay back at the end? Roy Clark's got 27.5 seconds in pits for the first round, so he's got
time to gain. He's got time to gain on those stoppers. I mean, he's not going to gain much on those other guys that took a very similar stop to him, but the guys that took the shorter stop, he's got a good gain coming his way, especially with some clean air in front of him here. If he strategizes Stuart Hall's made a small mistake. And we mentioned
like
it.
we talked about.
Yeah, we mentioned it, that you've got to try and keep the head clean. Looked like it might have just been a lock-up run wide at the second to last corner. He's still running, though. But that could have very easily have been a much bigger mistake if not for that. That'll be a wake-up call for him.
So 3:12, so about 4 seconds off his best time. So...
And off
They
his
wouldn't be
average,
running
which his
probably-
average was
Yeah, what's his
309s.
average?
So he's
Yeah,
lost
okay.
about 3 seconds on that
3
single
seconds.
mistake.
Yeah. Doesn't want to do that too many times.
No. So Chapman still trying to hold on here ahead of Reynolds. He further back down the order as well. Mulford feels the pressure here from Abel Verban, who still needs his second stop here tonight. As
Clark in
into
pits.
pit lane, and could be a solid strategy here for Roy Clark. The undercut to come. He's got time to gain in this shorter pit stop. This could be sound strategy for Clark to get that car inside of the top 10 as he puts it up on the jacks now. There's that battle we were watching between Mulford, Verban, Weston, Lovegrove and Bush. And I'll tell you what, unfortunately for Matt Day, long pit stop earlier on, 1 minute pit time. I think he might have had a problem into pit lane. Matt Day, wow, what an unfortunate night for him. Back in P26 after starting at the back of the field. This is not a night for one of the top 10 contenders this season.
Tell you what, I mean, I know it's not realistic, but geez, wouldn't a little bit of draft be great? Wouldn't it? You know, coming down that straight, just getting that little bit of a pickup. You know, yeah. Anyway.
Bit of aero differential. Maybe just put an actual front splitter on it, or maybe a diffuser at the back. That might help, maybe, with these cars.
So Gully chasing down Corfitas at the moment. He's quite close there.
He is
Going
indeed.
back up to... Yeah, he's close right up to his 0.3. He was down to 0.2, 0.3.
And if you're Galley
So a little bit
here,
further away.
you probably want to be pitting this lap, don't you? Just to try and get yourself into some clean air if Corfitas doesn't come in. You've got 2 seconds to gain in the stop. Try and use that to your advantage. Come in this lap, put the fresh tyres on it, and push on. I think that's surely going to be the strategy for Galley here going forward.
So, we've got Mario Real doing 2 stops.
Blanchard and Goosey. There's been contact
Ooh.
down at the eastern side of the circuit. On what would be the
That's gonna
final
shake
corner of
things
the
up.
eastern circuit. There's been some contact made. Those guys have been battling tightly together this whole race. And now they found themselves in a little bit of strife. And there you see Goosey. I think he thinks he was at fault.
Lock up in the background too.
Yeah, who was that?
Massive
That was
lock
Tim
up in the
Mulford.
background.
That was Tim Mulford.
Mulford, yeah.
Massive lock-up. So the old tyres and the brain fade is just starting to come in. It looked like Goosey there was trying to slow up to maybe redress the position of Blanchard. So I think he believes he was at fault on Blanchard there, trying to do the gentlemanly thing. He's given up a spot to Taylor. He's going to lose maybe a lot more spots here. Well, you see there, he's actually holding Blanchard up because Blanchard doesn't want to come past him.
Yeah, right.
Although,
Wow.
as Goosey
Here it
maybe
comes.
got
Here it comes.
damaged because Blanchard's going to come by now, but they've both lost spots. So all those cars that have just come past.
Yeah, geez, I think he probably would have been better to not worry about the redress then. Chapman in,
Yeah, Callaghan in as well,
Callaghan.
as is Favero. So very interesting stop strategy now for those guys. Of course, these are some of the guys that took the shorter stops on that first run through pit lane. So probably going about as far as the tank would get them. So this is now just to offset them, put the fresh tyres on it. Could be a good gain coming out of pit road here and behind as well. We've got the likes of Kelleher and Taylor now into pit lane. Or any of those other drivers who were battling before are going to come in? Yes, Listener and Boardman into pit road. As
Yeah,
it's
it looks
Blanchard
like
and Goosey.
yeah, Blanchard and Goosey in as well. Yeah,
There's a big stop. Big stop for
This is
these
starting to
cars.
mix it all up now.
So I believe Callahan should drop before Chapman. There was a slight differential in their stops. I believe it favoured Callahan. It did. So he'll jump and get out of pit lane before Chapo will.
Yeah,
So that's a good gain for Callahan. Clifton steamrolls past. So that is a massive gain on those fresh tyres for him. So he played the strategy well there, Brett, to undercut those cars, use the fresh tyres to his advantage. Hell of a gain. The problem for Clifton is, think about how old those tyres are going to be at the end of the race. He's got 2 lap older tyres on the 7.7 kilometre bend circuit to Callaghan and Chapman. These tyres are going to be cooked come the end of the race if he's pushing this car hard.
I would not like to be those tyres.
Vero thinking most guys would pit at 13. He was trying to undercut by 1 lap, but we'll see how that goes for him.
455 corners to go.
You've been doing the maths as we go along here, Brett, have you?
Yeah. Oh, I know. You got to give them what they want. Give them what they want.
Oh, you see a bit of a wiggle there for Andrew Galley.
A lot of wiggles.
And Reynolds
more wiggles
now,
than
a big
wiggles
red
band.
car.
Yeah, beep beep. Oh.
Have we got a fruit salad on offer, though, off the Eastern Circuit? As Reynolds and Corfiadis here going.
Hot potato.
Well, he's going toot toot chugga chugga. Get out of my way. I want to try and fight my way through because he's got he's got Galley and Burns sneaking their way up onto the rear of him here. There's Wade Reynolds.
You know those songs too well.
Oh, I grew up in the era that they were around, Brett. Of course I know them well.
Yeah, okay.
I went to Wiggles concerts as a child.
Oh my God.
Well, to be fair, I was between the age of birth and 3 when they were touring. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So were you a groupie?
I don't know. I was 3 years old. Race leaders in. Stuart Hall comes down pit road. So it's again an important stop for him, but he should come well out in front of the likes of Mick Clifton. So this is going to be a pretty crucial stop here for Hall, as Reynolds will come in as well. So will Paul Burns. So remembering that he gave up around about 3 seconds to Clifton from that lockup, as well as there's a little bit of time to be given up as well in this stop due to natural differential on their pit times. But Hall should probably come out here, I think, well above 3 to maybe even above 4 seconds ahead of Mick Clifton off of this pit stop. Pretty crucial, though. It's a crucial time. Tyres are going to be a factor now.
Yep.
Of course, Mick's on those fresher, warm tyres. Hall's on those colder tyres.
Fast that pit lane is. That is just horrendous.
Yeah, just
come
slow,
on,
just
40 k's now.
Pace. Let's get it up to 60. Come on.
The pit crew would be better off to run down to the car.
As Mick Clifton will come down the main straight, Stuart Hall will exit pit lane and he'll come out just behind Derek Lovegrove, who's on the main straightaway, but Hall will actually hold position. So gap between Stuart Hall and Mick Clifton, 4.3 seconds. That's the differential between corrected P1 in Stuart Hall and what would now be corrected P2 in Mick Clifton. But how bad are these tyres going to be by the final 5 laps of this race? And it's interesting, isn't it, Brett? It's the 2 championship leaders. It's the combined points leaders of 529 points with Kokoschki out now this season. That where we find Hall and Clifton together. Now, depending on who wins tonight, whether it is Hall or whether it is Clifton, it'll be interesting to see where they actually line the points next week, because we've got 2 weeks without Kokoschki, where that's when he'll take zeros, and then we'll get his true points positioning back up to that 709 points. So based on the fact that they're on 529, actually, this is going to actually they might score enough today to actually jump Kokoschki for next week. We'll have to see though. We'll have to wait and see.
Do you know what Mick Clifton's tyres are going to be saying about 5 laps from the end?
What are they going to be saying?
Please, mister, can I have some more?
They're going to be needing the tyre scraper just to put a bit more tread into them, I think, coming into this race. But we'll see if they can get a retread.
Better off to
Callaghan,
run.
by the way.
He might need to run off into the marbles a few times to collect a bit of rubber.
Callaghan right now is caught out by some troublesome traffic here of Tim Mulford, who's not taken his second pit stop just yet in this race. This is going to start to hurt Callaghan here if he's not careful. He needs to push on as best he can. Stuart Hall as well has caught trouble, stuck behind Scott Weston now, which Weston would have seen him exit pit lane. So that then comes to question, would it be better for Weston to let him go? Should he defend against him here, Brett, knowing that Weston needs that second stop? What would you do if you were in Scott's position here?
Do the best I can.
Corfiadis and Gallia now into pit lanes. This is an important stop. Very important stop for Corfiadis. I don't think he'll have the race lead, but will he get P2 ahead of Mick Clifton? It's a very, very important stop. Duggan has remained out. Header Sheets into pit lane. Brett Fisher stays out. So this is where you were getting your 17 laps on tyres in, Brett, I see.
Oh, I don't know, was I?
Apparently. You haven't pitted
Actually,
this lap too.
Yeah, no, I was going all right. I was happy with it. I was happy. Happy little chappy.
Oh, Tim Mulford. Tim Mulford off the road. I think there might have been contact with Darryl Callaghan. They're still rolling here.
Who's that?
But that's Callaghan, who I think actually had that.
Yeah.
You see him flashing. He's not happy. Is Mulford. So Corfiadis will drop position now to Stuart Hall. So back in the race lead. Mick Clifton will jump Corfiadis as well. But what is the gap going to be after this stop? This is a huge gain for Mick Clifton on those fresh tyres. Absolutely monumental. 11 seconds between Clifton and Yusuf Corfiadis on the fresh tyres for Clifton. That's the differential of 4 laps. But can that time be chased back down to the end of this race now that Corfiadis is not trapped behind Chapman and has clean air in front of him?
Gully be looking to get past Chapman as well. He's sort of at this point of the race. He really liked to.
I think for Andrew, he held it out too long. He needed to pit with Chapman on the lap that Chapman came in. He's gone too long. Because think about it, Brett. He's given up 2 laps on old tyres while Chapo's been on fresh tyres. He has lost in those 2 laps alone 5 seconds to Tony Chapman. 5 seconds. That is monumental.
Yeah.
As Hall now is still struggling to get past Scott Weston here, but it's all going to be null and void. He is the corrected race leader at this stage of the race. Brett Fisher, though, is in P2 at the moment.
Go me.
Yeah, how have you done this, Brett?
Driving.
I thought you were going to say, haven't taken my second stop yet. My secret strategy.
I'm not going to stop.
I believe I took 2. Will they?
In my mind, I took 2. We'll see how that all plays out.
I may not be able to count properly, but I've counted 2 pit stops.
Oh, a bit of a challenge on the inside here.
There he comes, Hall. He's trying to get this job done.
Nah, I don't think he's going to do it
Weston.
here.
And there'll be a bit of frustration now for Hall.
Yeah.
Knowing that he is the race leader and Weston's not making this easy for him.
Well, I mean, but I mean, he doesn't have to make it easy for him either.
He doesn't
That's
have
racing.
to. No, he doesn't. But is it smart on his behalf? Knowing that his tyres are old and he's only giving up time to the cars around him who are on the same strategy as him. I mean, is it
run
worth
wide
it?
now.
He's run wide. The tyres haven't been able to hold up. No, he'll get him here. He'll get him on the fresh tyres. Yeah. He's got the drive out.
He's going to argue it.
No, he's got it.
He's going to argue it.
He's got him.
No, he's got it. Yeah.
So Todd Duggan in, Brett Fisher
and Duggan in.
Damon's asked, have you cut corners tonight, Brett, to get up to P2?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all of them.
Are you running the international circuit today?
No, I was only doing 30 instead of 35.
How did you lose 5 corners?
I don't know.
Surely it would have been better to lose 18 corners instead.
I just went straight. Love graving bits.
So Abel Verben now leads the way, but needs his second stop here tonight after that pit lane start at the beginning of the race proceeding. Stuart Hall, though, is currently 11 laps away from his first race win in V8 Veterans. That's if he can hang on. Mick Clifton is 2.7 seconds behind, so there's been a significant time loss for Hall after being held up for Scott Weston. The difference is, though, Hall has got 3 lap newer tyres than what Mick Clifton does. And with 11 laps left in this race, I'm taking those 3 lap newer tyres over Clifton's right now.
Yeah.
And the important thing is, Brett, that you don't forget to cherish the corners here at the bend.
Cherish the corners. I drive them slowly, so I cherish every moment of them.
There we go. Yeah, very heartfelt driving of the corners here out of the bend. Tim Alford, Darren Goosey will look to exit pit lane in a moment's time. Significant time, I'll say, for both of those cars here today. Unfortunately, Mario Reale is out of this race as well, which is a real shame for him too. I'm hearing word as well, Brett. Todd Duggan.
I'm hearing words too.
Oh, yes, I'm hearing word. Todd Duggan took tyres on his first stop tonight, not his second.
Oh, shit.
That's not good at all.
And that he is only probably a few laps away from actually getting a meatball flag on those tyres, because they're only going to last about 20 laps.
Yeah.
So I don't think he can make it home today on board that car. The
No.
first time, it doesn't look to be a PC issue, it's a pit lane issue. And it's a real shame for him for that poor tyre decision.
SIMRIGS. That's all I can say.
Damon's saying that you're going to finish strong the next few races, Brett. Any word to those remarks?
We'll wait and see.
Well, you're going to be missing Sandown, so that's...
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to finish strong there.
I think it's Sandown. I'll have to figure it out. It's either the Sandown or Adelaide. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, both tracks I like. Oh, that's a shame. Anyway, it is what it is.
Maybe you can make it back in time. Who knows?
No, I don't think so.
So Scott Weston now is beginning to hold up Mick Clifton here. So all of a
What?
sudden, as he actually lets Mick
Clifton.
go very easily. So maybe there was a bit of, I'm going to hold back Stuart Hall here to put him back into Mick Clifton earlier on. Maybe that was the thought process, but
Maybe.
the difference is it wouldn't have really made much difference because Hall has got much newer tyres on board that Camaro. Clifton eventually would have run out of tyres, and he probably would have run out of the strategy at that point in time.
350 bends to go.
It's 10 laps. Very easy maths there for one Brett Fisher today.
I still have to use the calculator though.
10 times 35, 350 corners left of this race.
And
the field has been corrected, by the way. And if you look now, very quickly, at the differential between Yusuf Corfidis and Mick Clifton. Last lap was 3 seconds on the clock differential between lap times. And it's come down from the 11 seconds when Yusuf Corfidis exited pit lane to 4.8 seconds difference between himself and Mick Clifton. Those tyres of Clifton are starting to wear away. Corfidis are beginning to come alive. And all of a sudden, the Camaro that started the day on P2 looks like he's in the hot seat to finish the day in P2 if he can chase down Clifton and get that move made. And I think right now, he's on the road to the podium for this season as Yusuf Corfidis.
Do you know what Clifton's tyres are saying?
Please, sir, can I have some more?
They're screaming at the moment. Such a child.
I don't know who's younger, Brett, me or you. I know my birth certificate says it's me. But then there's the voice changer moments like that makes me question it, really.
Yes.
So Corfidis could be on the road here to P2 tonight. Does that mean that Chapman's on the road to P3? Well, time will tell. Gap is about 9 seconds. Last lap time for Chapman was a 3:09.3. Clifton's was a 3:10.8. This will be a monumental loss for Clifton because if he drops to Chapman, he's going to drop to Galley, McKenzie, and Dave Arney. This would be a huge loss for Clifton and a massive throw in terms of strategic masterclass for him by coming in a few laps too early here tonight at Tailem Bend.
And it's good to see too that the Chapman, Galley, McKenzie, Arnie are all battling there because it's like
but not
good battle for the podium.
Not battling nearly as hard as what they previously have in this race. So knowing what's on the line, we've got to keep an eye on that time differential, that 9.5 seconds that it's roughly sitting at to P2 at the moment. Because if they gain on him, I mean, think about it, Brett, they've got the next 9 laps of this race to chase down 9.4 seconds. On a 3-minute lap time circuit, it is very easy to gain a second a lap in comparison to other circuits.
Yeah.
It's much
definitely.
easier here to gain a second. It's easier to lose a second as well, but it's easier to gain one. So, that's a big thing. And it can happen today, especially if those tyres begin to fall away and mixed lap times start to fall away into roughly the 311s or the 312s towards the end of this race.
I lost a couple of seconds the other day too. Didn't know where they went. Couldn't find them. I thought maybe they've fallen between the seat and the console.
It's a very weird place to lose your
time.
No, to lose your running competitors. Weird that you're referencing to them as their positions that they finished in their last running race as well, Brett. Normally you give them names, you don't reference them to the position that they finished.
Oh. I don't know. I've just gone blank.
Well, Tony Chapman's claiming the tyres are dying on his car right now. He pitted, if you recall, he pitted back on lap 12, so these tyres are beginning to get a bit older. This is going to give some opportunity to Andrew Galley momentarily as well.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, once the tyres start wear and we see a little bit of wiggling in the tail, you can see Mackenzie just having a good old look at Andrew there. Is there going to be some desperation, a little bit of car action sideways, loss of speed on exit, and someone's going to take an advantage, put a car up. Andrew Galley just sort of dipping a wheel there off track. So as the laps start to close down, then normally we say within 10 laps of the race, things start to heat up. But I'd reckon probably, considering the lap length, I'd say within probably the last 5 laps is where you're going to start and see the spice come out.
Well, I definitely agree with you, and I think so. And I think that drivers are going to be really pushing on hard to try and keep their positions as strong as possible here today if they can. They're all driving very, very well, including Andrew Galley. What a performance for him today. It must be pointed out. Yeah, for Taylor Bend, the GT circuit, of course, second largest permanent race course here on the iRacing service. The only one that's ahead of it is, of course, the Nürburgring Nordschleife for the full Nordschleife layout of the circuit, because I believe they classified just the Nordschleife itself as a road course. I believe, I'm not sure if they actually classify that part of the circuit as a permanent race course, but although in saying that, Le Mans is classified as a street circuit, sorry, because yes, it is an actual street circuit. It's very weird. I don't know the exact classification. I just know that this is the second longest one, so yes.
Well, Mulford and Goosey having a bit of a swap around there for a second.
Having a bit of a duke out here, and this is all for P26 down the order today, unfortunately for them. There's been some good gainers further down the order. I mean, Matthew Day up 9, that's a good drive. Blanchard is down 6, but Boardman up 6 is a good drive from him. Weston up 3. Verban up 8 after starting pit lane. Takeaway 2, though, from race control, so he's actually up 6 here today as well. So it's a good run from Verban from that pit lane start.
Yeah, if you can finish within
positions.
Yeah, if you can finish within the top 20, that's a good effort.
Very good effort.
That's a
very,
great
very
effort.
Good effort from Verban, must be said. So
Pete Kelleher up 7.
He's done a great job as
well.
Go. A gap is now down, by the way, to 3.3 seconds between Mick Clifton and Yusuf Corfidis. Chapman, though, is not gaining at the rate of knots that he would have hoped. The gap is only down to roughly 8 seconds, or just above 9.3 seconds now between himself and Clifton. So he's not chasing Clifton down nearly as fast as what he would hope with only so many laps to go. So this is becoming a 2-horse race for P2. The P1 battle looks to be away from Mick Clifton as that gap's now grown out to 6 seconds. To 6.6 seconds between Stuart Hall and Mick Clifton out there as well.
Verban just done another fast?
He has. He's just done a 307.62, so he's looking to take a point away today from those drivers up to front. So important one as well for Stuart Hall here. This wouldn't only be a 181 finish for him today, Brett. He has the bonus point for getting the pole position, bonus point for leading the most laps. At the moment, bonus 3 points for 0x and a bonus point for leading a single lap as well. So he is on.
Raking the points.
He is on for 6 bonus points today and a total of 187 coming his way here today. Enough, obviously, to take the lead of the championship from Mick Clifton. and putting a good gap between himself and Clifton, who's currently P2 but at risk of dropping to P3 if Corfidis can have anything to say about it here today.
Well done to Kafidis too. Like, that's a great. He's down one at the moment, but still a good effort. You know, like we don't normally see. Have we seen him up this far?
And I believe Corfidis has finished on the podium before. This will be his first podium.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Yusuf has not finished on the podium here in Split 2 before. Importantly, though, as well, Stuart Hall's never won a race in the V8 Veterans. Nonetheless, Split 2 has never won a race in
Gully
Veterans.
closing on Chapman a little bit there. Just keeping an eye on that. Down to 2.2 seconds or whatever it was. So he's having a bit of a look.
Remembering as well that Chapman's tyres are now starting to fall away. So Gully, who's got 2 lap fresher tyres than Tony Chapman, is now going to be able to take advantage here at a moment and maybe try and get past him. Well, that opened the floodgates to the Kiwi, Scott McKenzie, and to Dave Arney as well to sneak his helicopter past too on his tippy toes by Tony Chapman if he possibly can, as Tim Mulford and Darren Goosey's gone off the road.
Gully balked as well.
Yeah, so Goosey's now gone off the road. He'll try and get that car going once again. Oh, that car's got a little bit of damage on it though. We'll have to wait and see when it comes into pit lane. Wade Reynolds has been down pit road again as well. He had a moment earlier on, so we'll try and catch that in, of course, the post-race highlights to come.
Roy Clark flashing off track there for a second.
Ironically, might be a long circuit. It's going to be a short highlights package, I would assume, today, as Matthew Day is also traversing the grass. We saw Scott Weston cross there earlier on in the race. He's just up ahead of Matt Day now as well. As Todd Duggan is off the road. And those tyres, I think, are starting to fall away from him. Yep. He's been on these sets of tyres since that first stop tonight. So a huge loss for Duggan. He's coming into pit lane. Those tyres are cooked. And unfortunately for Duggan, that'll be his race over. This is a real shame for him on board the Mustang. There we see a bit of time gained for Chapman now over Galley down towards turn 6.
It's just been seesawing back and forward the times between those guys there. And the battle, Brett Taylor, Clark, Heddersheed, Kelleher, has been a nice tight little battle there as well.
Nice little 4-car battle pack. We've got Listener and Fisher with each other as well. A great showing at this stage of the race. Andrew Galley, though, feeling the pressure here from the Kiwi, Scott McKenzie in behind him. It's been a great breakout performance tonight for Andrew. If he can put the pieces together and get these points on the board, as his teammate Brett Fisher has a little snack in the background. What's on the menu tonight, Brett?
Just a bit of ice.
Amazing.
Just in the bottom of my drink.
The frozen variety.
Yeah. Well, what other? Oh, right. I get you. Yeah,
right, for you to figure out, Brett.
Oh, wow. Yeah, hang on. I'll just get the crack pipe out.
No. It was fine with my one cheekily winking at it, and then you just pulled the curtain all the way back.
Yeah, well, hey. Babang chasing down Toth. He's quite close there. Let's change the subject. I'm having a crack at Listener there. Heddersheed having a crack at Clark. This battle up.
Up the front, we're still continuing with Chapman and Galley, of course. But Verben running well here on the back at Toth. But Chapman's given up a whole lot of time to Yusuf Corfidis, of course. And now to Clifton. He's actually lost a second to Clifton. So look at that. 2-lap older tyres are actually benefiting Clifton right now, but they're not benefiting him against Yusuf Corfidis. That gap's now down to 2.4 seconds with only 6 laps to go. This is going to be an incredible finish to this race, as the battle for P2 is going to be on. But you might look at the clock and think, 6 laps to go. We haven't got long left. We've still got 18 minutes.
Corners.
We've still got 18 minutes of racing left here, Brett. So still plenty of time.
210 corners.
Yeah.
210.
Plenty of time. 6 laps to go.
Well, Hall doing a great job out in front at the moment. He's got to be happy with his race so far. Not a huge amount of pressure on him at this stage with a nice
But
8-second lead, as we were just talking about.
Must be said, though, strategized correctly today. Strategized his fuel correctly and strategized his positioning correctly as well as Galley.
Gully and McKenzie closing further. This is getting tight now.
It is indeed. It is intensifying at this stage.
Oh, look at that.
Of the race as McKenzie
Galley.
can't quite get close enough.
Yeah.
The point I was
Gully just
making-
shadowing Chapman there for a second.
Indeed. The point I was making for Stuart Hall, picked his time to come into pit lane perfectly. I think we can agree, Brett, and picked the fuel perfectly as well. There's a lot of luck involved there to get the clean air that he needed, but he used his own pace at this place to his advantage to make up at this point of the race for what happened last time he was here.
Can we sit on board with McKenzie? I think this is getting
we
nice
can't.
and intense.
We can't sit on board
righto.
with McKenzie.
Just watching the attitude of these cars. So Chapman's looking nice and tidy out in front, although Galley definitely trying to look for a way past. McKenzie just going to clean up if anything comes astray. So he drops off there. Gully right up on the back of Chapman. McKenzie closing a little bit through here.
You can see he's got good pace,
Yeah.
but I think Galley's getting caught up by Chapman ahead of him through there. That's why
Yeah.
he's not able to run the pace. Because of the older tyres on Chapman's car, Galley can't get the run that he needs, which is then hurting him and trying to set it up as he looks to get out the inside. It turns on his contact's made though. McKenzie's been drilled by Dave Arney down there.
Wow.
Arney has
There you
drilled him,
go.
which has now allowed Callaghan to get past, as well as Paul Burns.
I did not know that was going to happen either, by the way. That was
Well then.
wow. And now Galley still looks well. The Galley's now really he's free to attack Chapman a little bit harder because he knows he hasn't got that car on his tail anymore. So this might open up a little bit. 21 of 26.
Well, Mick Clifton watching with us over on the Infinity Broadcasting channel. Not much more that Clifton can do at the moment in P2 with those older tyres beginning to wear away. There's Chapo
Galley
under pressure from Galley.
definitely, he's definitely attacking a bit harder now. You can see that pressure off his tail. He really wants it.
Oh, you can see him gives him a little touch. Gave him a little touch through there. Almost pushed him along. And he gets through. Does Andrew Galley.
There you go.
Gave him a bit of push and shove because he wanted to get past Chapo, and then he decides to let him go. I don't think he realised that he was actually going to want to let him go. I don't think Andrew realised. So now the time
like
that was lost stuck behind Chapman. He's now out to 11.1 seconds between Andrew Galley and Yusuf Corfiadis. And I think with 5 laps to go, that podium hope is now gone for Galley, which is a real shame. But what he might have is a fantastic P4 on the line. And this could be a solid finish for the Shadow Racing driver.
So further back on the back of Callaghan, Burns, McKenzie, Dave Arney are back in that fight again. So they've sorted themselves out there. Going back further on Heddersheed and Kelleher. 13th and 14th. There's close battle there. Myself and Listener still going at it.
And then further behind.
Verban on Toth. Yeah.
So Verban's still stuck there, unable to get by. And then James Boardman remains on the tail of Chris Blanchard at this stage of the race.
There's a little
Little poke of the nose, but couldn't quite get there. He's up 6 at the moment, is Boardman here tonight. Although you take away the 2 race controllers, he's only up 4, but that's okay. As Mulford's had to come back in pit lane. Scott Weston has a minor off track further down the order, but he's still running strong. So Corfiadis, 2.5 seconds is the gap between him and Mick Clifton. 2.5 seconds separates Yusuf from P3 and his starting position of P2. Has he got enough time over the next 10 minutes of this race to claim back P2 on the road and get that car solidly on the podium tonight on the second
Time
step
will tell.
behind the race winner?
Time will tell. Unless you've got the herb time, and then that won't tell.
It might.
It might.
If you cherish it, it will tell you.
Cherish it. Like the corners.
If you show it, some tender love and care, it will tell you.
God.
Bit of TLC.
Righto. 22 of 26 laps here at the bend as we go around the bend.
We've already gone around the bend.
Still
We're over
plenty
the
of
hill.
good battles still going out here, though, isn't there, Hamish?
Oh,
There's
there
some great battles still going
There
on.
is indeed. And we can see here the sort of movement that these cars are getting from this undulating circuit here at the bend. Of course, we know the sort of pressure that these tyres are under tonight. There are only one extra set available to them, of course. And you see the suspension movement as the undulation change affects the tyre wear of these cars. We're right on board with Scott McKenzie at the moment. He's just coming around to finish up his 22nd lap of the race.
Well,
He's
Galley
got
putting the
4 to
fastest
go.
lap of his race down. And
Good
McKenzie
lap.
also. So
Yep.
there you go.
Some good laps coming out of these cars. Dave Arney with a good lap as well, 309.54 the last time by.
You can see when now that Andrew Galley's been released, he's definitely he's out to 1.5 seconds. Was there a second ago? So definitely being able to put a bit of space between himself and Chapman. So now that he's been released.
The releases helped him push on to this stage of the race. Great to see. McKenzie running a solid line to enter the back end of the circuit. This is up now onto the eastern part of the circuit as they come round towards that entry point. There is the international circuit to the right there. Now onto the eastern circuit here as well. And this is a solid part of the track. Uphill, off camber a little bit, back onto brakes, on camber for the right-hander, the long right-hander that banks a little bit midway through. You see him catch a bit of curb there. The other cars weren't willing to. He'll then get on the power through the little S's section through here. It's a great piece of track, Brett. Looks absolutely
Yeah, that's
phenomenal.
what I was saying
Yeah.
earlier. This is back section straight. It's got a bit of character to it.
And then you come down through the next part of the S's again. Just riding those curves. And then onto the on-camber portion of the corner. You'll come over the crest and back through the left. And it's just the
When you get it right, it's
switchbacks.
good.
Oh, when you get it right, it looks good. Down towards the hairpin at turn
I don't like this
23. This is the just onto where the straight is. The start-finish straight for that part of the circuit as well.
Yeah, don't like that one either.
Towards
I
turn
didn't like
25.
this corner either.
Turn 25 and 26.
This was okay.
It's a long lap, of course.
Hmm.
And turn
Didn't
27.
mind this one. This one's all right.
When we get to 2 laps to go, that's when we're going to put our driver of the day
Header
nominations
sheet.
up today. As header sheets
Kelleher.
in position to Kelleher. So we're at around about a lap and a half away, Brett, from giving our driver of the day nominations to the chat to vote on. And I have got 4 names that I'm going to put on there.
Nice.
4 very strong names that I think have driven spectacularly today. I think all
Brett's a
4
strong
deserve it.
name.
It's a very strong name. Up 5 into P16.
So Hall still 10 seconds out in front. Kofidas now down to 1.5 seconds on the back of Clifton. Can he close that gap enough over the next couple of laps?
I've got a question for you, Brett, just quickly on your
Yes.
strong name. Is Brett short for breath you?
What?
Is Brett short for breath you?
Short for breath you.
Like Matt is
No.
short for Matthew.
You know.
No?
No.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm sure.
Well, what we can see here is it doesn't matter if there's a cane on circuit. Abel's doing well for himself. He's up 10 into P17 now. And a great drive from where his car was qualified, although he did start from the back of the field technically, so he's actually up 12. And a great race here for the Sim Racer HQ machine. Mick Clifton is 1.5 seconds ahead of Yusuf Corfidis, the race winner back at Winton. One of the 2 championship leaders who right now won't be leading the championship. Has only got 1.1 seconds separating his Abbey Timber Mustang and the unhinged Camaro of Yusuf Corfidis. Time is rapidly dropping for Clifton. Tyres are falling away. It's now below a second. And I think P2, not to call the cart before the horse, I think P2 is gone from him. Because those tyres are now older than the first set that he ran here today. They're now 14 laps old. Corfidis' tyres, in comparison, are only 10 laps old. And for Clifton, I don't think he has a chance to defend this spot to the Camaro in behind, outside of stretching the rules and outside of maybe giving a little push and shove to the Camaro in behind him.
Hey, Hamish.
Yes.
What do you call a $2 chicken?
Bad poultry.
Buck, buck.
Was that the time for jokes, Brett? We got an intense battle for P2 about to happen. As Mick Clifton's run it wide into the sand off the exit of the Eastern Circuit start-finish line, and it's easier than it appeared.
Yeah.
Corfidis straight past him.
Yeah, not much you can do
On
about
the
that
entry
one.
to the International, through the nipple section they ride. And they tickle the throttle on the exit of the Areola.
Wow. Actually, Simon Heddershire on the back of Kelleher in the background there I just saw, and he was very close there. That was a big bit of lunch. Now, looks like Listener and myself are starting to close the gap on these two. Oh, Heddershire sideways.
Just like to point out, we hope that you're enjoying. Oh, Heddershire, massive lose. Right on the Areola. He tickled it wrong. And the car's gone off.
Unbelievable. Oh, and myself on Listener's
On the back
getting
of
close
Listener.
there, yeah.
So
Yeah.
the 4 names have gone out there for the final 2 laps for you guys to vote on for Driver of the Day. Race leader, Stuart Hall, Yusuf Corfidis, Dave Arney, and Andrew Galley are your 4 choices for Driver of the Day today.
Oh, look at me champing at the bit on the back of Listener here. This is getting a bit wild.
Oh, Fisher trying to get it done at the inside of turn 1. Not close enough under brakes.
Whoa. That
We've
was
got 2
scary.
laps, 6 minutes to get the job done here today. Who is going to finish this off? Will it be
Battle up
Brett
the top.
Fisher? Will it be Listener?
Oh, yeah, who knows? Callaghan and Burns, McKenzie and Arnie still battling away there. The closing stages of this race.
You see the Chapman becoming a bit of Hodor now. He's trying to hold them back as much as possible. We implore you out there too to get into the chat with us. Got 7 votes at the moment. We've got 29 of you watching, so get your votes in for
Come
Driver of
on,
the Day.
vote up, vote up.
Stuart Hall,
Vote
Yusuf
up.
Corfidis, Dave Arney with no votes at the moment, Andrew Galley. Get your votes in for your Driver of the Day here at Shell V-Power Motorsports Park for the GT layout of Tail and Bend. It is going back and forth right now between Andrew Galley and Stuart Hall, by the way. So
Cool.
There's a bit of back and forth for the win
Like
between
a good
those
battle.
two. Yep. See McKenzie now putting a bit of pressure on Burns to the inside of 23. Can't quite get there. He's got Dave Arney on his heels, who did make a bit of contact earlier on. You see Burns getting loose off of 24. Not going to give McKenzie a time and an opportunity yet to get that job done.
Oh, geez, the battle between himself and Listener is still battling on there too. Got down to 0.1 a second ago.
Yeah, still just following along here. Trying to keep it tidy, but getting it loose off that corner as well. Stuart Hall now has only got a couple of corners left in his second to last lap. Here at Tailem Bend, the demons that hurt him last time. The neutral gear off the start line. The contact on his rear into pit lane on lap 2. That put him well to the back of the field after a stop hold black flag that wasn't his fault. He has got 7.7 kilometres, 35 corners, and 1 lap left of the GT layout of Tailem Bend before he is a race winner in V8 Veterans. It's time to put your head down. It's crunch time for 7.7 Ks. He's got to put together a perfect final lap to hang on to this race win. As Corfette is sitting strong in P2 at the moment, there's a little bit of movement further back as Day and Weston are battling for position. Goosey's been off the road as well. Hotly contested. Mick, if you want to vote in it, you've got to get over to the Vets channel and get into the poll. Unfortunately, we can't count your comment votes anymore as we've moved to the polling system. So you've got to get over to the Vets stream and vote in the poll over here, unfortunately.
So I've got past Listener, and Hedishi's just got past Listener.
Yep, this is all happening now on the main straight. Final lap of the race, final dash for position. Galley is not close enough to get P3 today. He's about 7 seconds back off of Mick Clifton. Hedishi, though, under wild pressure from Listener, who he's just gotten past on the final corner. And this is incredibly tight for the white flag here at Tailem Bend. Paul Burns has got Mackenzie right on his heels as they battle for position. Callaghan is on the tail of Chapman as well. They've got Galley 2.4 seconds up the road from them in a solid P4 position right now. Mick Clifton is feeling quite safe on those old weary tyres in P3. Tyler's apparently. There's Andrew Gallion behind him.
Hello, how would you like your tyres done?
And Stuart Hall. This is not the finish line just yet for him. He's got a few corners left to ride as he'll look to get back to the international circuit. The final run here tonight. What a drive from him as well. No safety cars to speak of here today. I know there was some across the other splits here this weekend. Split 2, those remain green flag all the way through. I've had confirmation as well. Brett is not short for Brethue. It's short for Brittany, apparently. So that's the confirmation that we needed.
Okay.
So only a handful of corners to go for Stuart Hall. What a drive this has been for him. A long time coming for the long-time servant in Split 1. Formerly of Nova Sim Sports. Joined the new team for season 28. Back at round 2, got a couple of podiums to his name. Nearly got a race win back at Winton, but it wasn't meant to be. But at Tailem Bend, where the heartbreak came about last time earlier in the season, he has redeemed himself. As he'll come up to the 35th corner for the final time at 26 laps later, 200 Ks, 910 corners. Stuart Hall is a race winner in the V8 Veterans.
Fantastic effort, Hall.
Yusuf
coming up
Corfetus.
to the line.
He will come up to the line.
Oh,
He'll finish P2. And a great run for him after starting on the front row tonight. Mick Clifton up 3 in the old tyres to finish P3 today as well. Galley will come home in P4 after a great drive. And Tony Chapman, what a defensive effort. P5 tonight ahead of Callaghan, Burns, McKenzie, Arnie, Favero will make up the top 10.
Battle pack. That was a fantastic battle pack, that was. They battled out most of the night, I think.
They did indeed. And what a great drive it was for those out there. They won't have enough fuel to get the cars home again. Knowing that it's a very, very long lap back to pit lane. But it was a solid performance tonight for those that were involved. Driver of the day today, it will be going the way of Infinity Motorsports. Stuart Hall, after a fantastic drive, voted by the chat out there. 50% of the votes, by the way, going the way of Stuart. today, he will get the Driver of the Day award for himself and his team, as he'll look to light it up for us down there. I think, by the look of it, he's actually just blown the engine on that burnout. So,
short celebration.
Stuart would have wanted. He only had a little bit of fuel left, I suppose. So,
yeah,
that would be why. But what a great drive for Stuart Hall, our driver of the day today, here for Tailem Bend and this round of the season. Race results coming your way now. Let's have a quick look at where everyone finished up here at the longest circuit of the season. Stuart Hall wins his very first race here in the V8 Veterans. He leads the most laps, had pole position a 0x race as well, and leading a lap, he'll get 187 points next to his name here today for Tailem Bend. Yusuf Corfidis comes home in P2 ahead of Mick Clifton out of P3. The championship battle is on between Clifton and Hall now that Kokoschki has had to step away. Roy Clark with the Hard Charger Award tonight and a great performance of Banter Alliance Racing. Abel Verben, though, will take home the fastest lap today with a 2:07.6 and a great run for himself. Andrew Galley, Tony Chapman made up the top 5 to Darryl Callahan, Paul Burns, ahead of Scott McKenzie, Dave Arney and Nathan Favero inside of the top 10. Brett Taylor, Roy Clark ahead of Peter Callahan, Brett Fisher, Simon Hennessy for the top 15. Andrew Liston will finish ahead of Abel Verben, Annie Toth, Derek Lovegrove and Scott Weston for our top 20. To the second page, we'll then find Matthew Day ahead of Chris Blanchard, James Boardman ahead of Jeremy Bush, Darren Goosey, Wade Reynolds, Tim Mulford, Todd Duggan and Mario Reale. Unfortunately, not finishing today's race. It has been a fantastic time to call the action once again. We've got our race winner here tonight and our driver of the day, Stuart Hall, waiting in the wings as well. We'll get some B-roll happening for you so then we can have a chat to our race winner here today, who drove a spectacular race out there here out at Tailem Bend.
Race highlights.
No, it's not the highlights yet, Brett. It's not the highlights yet. It's just that's just the thing that plays whenever I change to a highlights package.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
He's getting a little bit overexcited here today. Let's drag him in, though, for a quick chat here tonight. Stuart, welcome in. Congratulations. Race win, your first win here in the Veterans Driver of the Day Award as well. How does it feel to get that one sewn up here at Tailem Bend, especially after your last outing here at Tailem Bend earlier in the season?
Yeah, it was great, guys. Yeah, I had a
Oh, have we got you, Stuart?
yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Well, obviously, now that Mr. Kokoschki's had to step away this season, this has opened the door wide open for yourself and Mick Clifton, obviously, to contest for the championship with guys like Chad Viger, Scott McKenzie, and even Matthew Day as well. Has this now turned the pressure pot up a little bit more, knowing that all of a sudden you're going to take over the lead of the championship, or is there less pressure now, or how has this changed your outlook on the season with 4 rounds to go?
Probably hasn't really changed it much. Just got to focus on each race from now on, and do my best and try and get some more wins and whatnot and top 5s.
I mean, it's been a solid run this season. Obviously, you've had a few poor rounds in round 3, obviously, and then round 5. What are you going to do differently in round 7 to maybe not allow that monkey on your back to do you in again for a 3rd time?
Oh, no, that's all good. Just make sure I've got it in gear for the starts, and just
and hope the wheel works as well.
Well, a few of them issues that are giving me a bit of headache, and I keep getting bloody little flickers here and there, but I had it pretty good through that race, and I had a pretty easy race, really, that one.
I mean, it was a solid performance. Brett, have you got anything you want to say to Stuart before we let him go?
No, just well done, mate. Great race. It was a good turnaround from last time we were at the Bend. You must be pumped, mate.
Yeah, it's really good, and I really like to thank the guys at Infinity Motorsport for taking me in and helping me out a bit, and hope it keeps going on good from here now on.
Well, hopefully it can for your sake as well, Stuart. Congratulations on the race win. We wish you the best of luck for Oran Park and the rounds preceding that as well, and massive congratulations to you on your very first win here in V8 Veterans.
Thank you, guys, and thank you for Infinity for doing the broadcast, and it's really good, guys.
Very good. Thanks so much, Stuart. We wish you the best of luck next week. Thank you so much for coming over to chat to us as well.
Okay, see you guys.
Thank you. Well, Stuart Hall, not bad for his first time in the booth for a post-race interview. It's obviously something that's can be a bit difficult for if you've never been here before. Obviously, as I'm sure some drivers would be aware, as if they've never been into the broadcast booth before as well. But I mean, what a phenomenal race it was, Brett. And obviously, we get to now look through some of the things that happened throughout this race as well. Hopefully, we can find things that actually happened in this race nice and easily today, because it was such a long one. But
910 kilometers.
But we'll try and find them as best we can, as we'll get ourselves prepped and ready for what will be the post-race highlights here today. But I've got to find when the green flag drops, if I can. Find when the green flag drops, that'd be nice. I don't think I can, though. Which is no, I can. That's very good. I can find it.
Oh, very good.
So it all started, of course, on lap number 1 out there today for our post-race highlights. And, well, Stuart Hall starting on pole, not getting the start that he wanted, but did have the pace that he needed here today. Got off the start line, not too bad. A little bit of a wiggle, though, but what a rocket off the start line it was for Corfidis, who went straight into the race lead off the exit of turn number 1.
Everyone got away from, had a great start, actually. It looked like a couple of cars back further might have got into a bit of trouble, but everyone got through there safely, which is great.
This was Mario Reali down at the exit of the eastern start-finish straight. We saw him running wide and returning to circuit earlier in the race, and that was the case there for him as well. James Boardman a lap later having a minor off-track around about the same area, actually, that Mario did. Let's just watch this back here. Just running a bit wide into the sand, and that, again, probably just a bit of lack of practice for James. Lap later again, same corner, same deal, it seems, for Boardman down there, and actually almost at the exact same line.
Identical. Yeah,
and
identical.
Nearly collected header sheet on the way through as well. Pit stops would then begin. This was then another wild ride for Boardman down here as well, actually, after the pit stop for him too. So let's watch this back.
Highlights,
straight across the grass, nearly collecting the Shadow Racing car in front of him, pulled it up, got it going again, and then came out, I believe, right in front of yourself there, Brett. So that was a wild moment. Or was that Ernie that he came out in front of?
That's Ernie Toth, yeah.
Then Darren Goosey, unfortunately for him, had a couple of moments here tonight, including this one here as well. This was again on the eastern start finish straight. This was really the hot spot and hot pot for incidents tonight. Just got a little bit of a door there from Darren, Dave Arney off the road, did Mr. Goosey from that one. Scott Weston then as well had an off track down here. Turn 26 seems to be the hot pot for area of incidents here today. Another off track, and it's a very wide one into the grass for Weston.
Yeah.
We saw him rejoining the circuit after that one. And then this was Stuart Hall's moment as well. The lock up under brakes.
Locked.
Massive lock up for him.
That was a big lock.
And that was up at what is turn 17 on the regular circuit. He could have been so much worse.
They could have been so much worse.
Very, very lucky. Then there was this one here. This was one of the two incidents down at turn 23 between Darren Goosey and Christopher Blanchard down here as well. You see Goosey there up the inside. Blanchard doesn't know he's there, gives him a touch, and that's why Goosey was trying to redress, because he realised what he did to Mr. Blanchard at that stage of the race.
He nearly actually got the car turned back around too.
There was a lock up from Verben up the inside of Mulford, giving him a knocking around again down at turn 24. So more and more incidents coming down there. And then the next one we had down there was the one between Mackenzie and Arnie. If we can find it. We had one here from Mulford coming up after this one as well.
Yeah.
This was back onto the international circuit. That was contact actually with Darryl Callaghan down there. So that's a shame for him to get caught up in that one. Wade Reynolds as well. Wild ride down here at turn 24. I mentioned the wide run for drivers to be careful of. That little patch of sand just catches it with the rears and straight in the barrier for Wade Reynolds.
Well off the track, yeah.
We then had Tim Mulford and Darren Goosey battling hard for position as well. And this was a fairly decent one between both of them. And that was then when we saw Goosey go off the road nearly into the wall. And then we would find ourselves with Dave Arney and Scott McKenzie, who are battling hard with Chapman and Galley ahead of them as well. And this is what occurred down at turn 24.
He's come from a long way back.
Very long way back. Sent it in, locked up the rears, and contact was made. I think he knew what he had done was wrong on that occasion for him there as well. Well, that will then bring us to the end of the post-race highlights package, and we hope everyone has enjoyed the show here tonight for the SIMRIGS V8 Veterans Split 2 action for Season 28, Round 6 out at Shell V-Power Motorsports Park here in Tailem Bend for a special Friday Night Delights episode to end out July for you before August begins tomorrow on August 1st. The reason today's broadcast is on Friday, well, the time slot was free, and both Brett and I have got prior arrangements tomorrow, which, although mine are actually looking to be possibly cancelled now, actually, because of some illness, unfortunately, for those who we were celebrating. But that's okay. I wanted to keep it as today, just in case we did go out tomorrow. So, but I know that Brett is driving a bus tomorrow. So, yeah, I will be having a night off tomorrow. So,
what is it? The Roosters and something else, footy game in Mudgee.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Picking people up from Goldgong.
Well then, that'll be very, very nice. But we appreciate everybody's time joining us once again. We want to implore you to help support us by clicking the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon too on the V8 Veterans channel, so you're notified whenever we go racing with the Split 2, Split 3 and Split 4 actions across Infinity Broadcasting, AJR Broadcasting and WKMP TV as well. I believe Split 4 will be returning post Oran Park, and they'll be back for Sandown. So keep an eye open for that one. I'll be putting a post out in Discord this week as well. I need a co-commentator for next week at Oran Park, as Brett will be away. So if you see that message or you want to shoot me a message, you want to come and commentate, get in touch with me. We'll get you on board. Otherwise, I'll be chasing down a commentator for next week's race. You can help support us at Infinity Broadcasting by clicking the like button and subscribe the bell icon as well over on our channel. So you're notified whenever we go racing with the V8 Veterans action brought to you by SIMRIGS for Split 2, as well as Highside Motorsports for their upcoming end to Season 2 for their Gen 6 NASCAR Cup Series. They've got Talladega coming up Monday morning for the Rocket City 170 before the chase will begin to the championship final 5 rounds chase format, very similar to the Supercars finals format, but with no knockouts leading up to their finals race of the season at Charlotte Motor Speedway before they get racing for Season 3 in a few months' time. You guys better catch all that action, as well as the next season, Season 8 of the Premier Endurance League GT3 Limited Series, brought to you by Dash Off Road, is also on the channel now too. Once a month on Sunday nights. The next race they'll be having is out at the Nürburgring on August 16th. You'll be able to catch all that action live on our channel as well. For myself, Hamish Munro Brett Fisher alongside, I want to appreciate your time, appreciate your effort being here with us once again. Massive shout out as well to all the series sponsors. Title sponsors, of course, SIMRIGS, Logitech G, Paramount Institute, Play One, Sim Gear, Project Phase Streetwear, LGC Images, and M1 Used Cars for the Driver of the Day Award tonight. It went the way of race winner Stuart Hall. Next time we'll be racing out at the one and only, the now gone like the dodo bird, Oran Park, for the first time in a long time. The first time in Gen 3 machinery. We're going to the housing estate. Oran Park is on the calendar. You don't want to miss it. Live, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time next Saturday night as we're racing back in Sydney for the next round of the season. But I've been Hamish Munro Brett Fisher alongside. Thank you so much all for joining us, and get ready for the hype up songs still to come now as well here tonight. Thank you all for watching along with us here today. Thank you all so much. We'll see you guys next week out at Oran Park. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Ignite the bin, 200 clicks of fury in the night. Tires screaming murder as the grid goes white. All on the trigger, pose-sitter, born possessed. Coffee addies in the shadow with the wheel pressed to his chest. Clifton on a mission, championship in his eyes. Mackenzie fighting demons under us, Mackenzie's skies. Kakoski missing, crown left cold on the floor. Round 6 opens up like a battlefield door. No cautions, no mercy, no time to breathe. 26 laps, violence underneath. like a Mustang on fire. Burn battery. Split two soldiers never tire. Burn battery. Tidal pressure breaks the weak. Burn battery. Round 6 war. Unleash the freak. Unleash the freak. All leads the charge, carving lines like a blade. Corfiati's locked in, refusing to fade. Clifton climbing hard, every lap a war cry. Points dripping like blood as the giants run dry. Galley in the crossfire, Callaghan in the smoke. Chapman throwing punches till the steering wheel broke. Mid-pack carnage, engines coughing the last. The bend takes victims when you're running too fast. No cautions, no mercy, no time to breathe. 26 laps, violence underneath. Burn battery. Strike like a Mustang on fire. Burn battery. Split two soldiers never tire. Burn battery. Tidal pressure breaks the weak. Burn battery. Round 6 war. Unleash the freak. Fuel at 50 tires, dying hot on red line. Champions crumble when the bend decides the time. Clifton rising, Mackenzie lost in the haze. All stands tall as the circuit sets ablaze. Burn battery. 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 Detonate the grid tonight. Burn battery. Round 6 burns in pure white light. Burn battery. Tidal hunters feed the flame. Burn battery. V8 vets. Remember the name. Listen
The Racing Series is a new milestone in Logitech G.
All the great old wheels, the G29, the G920, the G923, they all have their own unique way of connecting to each other, but there's no room for expansion with those products.
So the question arose was, what if we were to give the opportunity for the racer to switch out from a drifting wheel to a GT rim?
With the wheel hubs that we've created, that's got a very specific button set, but you can replace any of the steering wheels.
And the real lovely aspect to this was we could give the user, driver and the racer the opportunity to experience different genres of race.
That allows drivers to craft high quality, customized setups that resonate with your individual racing style.
When we start with the design, we always start sketching. Very often, once we've got sketches, we start discussing with engineering.
We had 3 rounds of engineering testing or user testing where we invited in users from sim racing, and every single round of feedback we refine, the product based on what they tell us.
In the sim racing lab, again, we're going to use data to really analyze what a driver needs. We've used everything from eye tracking to the inputs from the pedals, the inputs from the, let's just say, input devices, the wheel and the pedals, the shifter. We're taking that and we're compiling it so that we can build different products based on those individuals' needs for all consumers and all drivers.
I don't know of anyone else in the industry that's actually doing this kind of research into their products to see how their products are affecting performance of their users.
We've built the product to make sure that it's as reliable as possible.
So the innovations in engineering that I'd say we're most proud of is the sequential handbrake and shifter toolless changeover. This is now a patented system, so it's really easy for the user to just switch between modes.
If you give people the tools to do what they want, they will.
They will just go off and have fun.
Hey guys, sorry about the lack of videos lately, but I've been really busy down in Melbourne with SIMRIGS. I've actually built our first rig in Melbourne. It's featuring our new ASR chassis. So basically it's an ASR Pro with a cubic QS210 motion system with a cubic BT1 belt tensioner. I've coupled it with an awesome set of LG ultra wides. What you've seen before, these are the new brackets that I've made for the cubic system to suit the ASR, and you notice it's really low to the ground. We got it really low to sort of match a real car, like a lot of motion systems sit quite high, and that's really annoying that you need steps to actually get in it. So now I've lowered it down, it's actually really low to the ground. And the awesome thing with cubic is when it sits, it actually sits down like a real lowrider, and it only raises when it comes back and starts moving. Also on this rig we've got the fantastic SimCube active pedals. Not going to get a better pedal on the market. Couple that with the SimCube Coral. We've given it the whole Porsche livery and the Grid Racing by SimLabs Porsche wheel. So that just ties it all in together. So it's an awesome build. I really love these monitors because of the semicircle. You just look at, you're fully encapsulated. And being ultra wide, yes, they are a little bit narrow, but with the 45 inches, it is taller. It is, I think, about maybe 2 inches higher compared to a 32 monitor. The color that you get out of them is fantastic. Really nice and deep, good blacks, as any OLED should be. That's it, guys. We've got heaps more builds that we're doing at the moment. Our ASR containers arrived, so you'll be seeing them on our website as well. So, till next time.